You are not going to understand, and you won't, because I didn't, okay? So here we go. So I played e4, my opponent went c5. Now this is how I know I played white, because I didn't play Sicilian yet. Sicilian I started playing at like 1600, I think. Now I went knight f3, my opponent went d6. Now, yo. I am such a gangster. Like, you know, bishop c4 is a normal move, right? That's what I wanted to play. That's what I always play, 4 knights. Also open Sicilian, I didn't know that at the time. But in this game, I played h3. Okay. I think I was just like, I don't want him to pin me. I was like, and pins are going to play a pivotal role in this game. You're going to see some hilarious pins. I was watching this game like, what was I doing? You know? So I stomped the pin, and then instead of putting my bishop on c4, I put my pawn on c4. Like, this is some sort of mega Sicilian strategy out here. So he went knight f6. I went knight c3. Shout out Carl. Carl sounds like the name of a 60-year-old. I can't believe children are named Carl around the world. Like, no disrespect. I just, you know, Carl's a grown name. Carl is a DMV appointment name. I'm just my thoughts. If you named your kid Carl, you had better options. No, okay. d3, bishop e7, bishop e2, queen c7, bishop e3. No Carls were hurt in the making of this video. We're just developing some pieces. Queen c2, e5. So we have this position. My guy Carl locks the center. I can't play d4. Nobody can go. And so now what do? Well, we make a couple of moves, and now I'm like, okay, I have no clue. Knight d5. He trades, knight d4, and I'm like, well, you traded with me, so I have to trade with you. So now we just remove the horses. Now we have this position. This is a pretty close position. Both sides still have 8 pawns, although it has more openings, right, than a traditionally totally closed position. Of course, I should castle. Like, castle here, of course. I went a3, powerful move, b5. And if you don't believe me, if you like think I'm just making these games up because I'm a lunatic, I'm not. Here's my game against Carl, and I will show you afterward. Look. Rook c1, defending my queen, so I can take the pawn. And he went bishop b7. Bishop f3, I'm setting up maybe taking the pawn. He goes rook c8, and here I was like, Carl, I can attack your rook. Also, why is your name Carl? Rook d8! And I played the move pawn to f4. Yeah, no, I mean, if I had a coach, I'm sure they yelled at me to castle, and then f4, although pawn to f4 is a reasonable move. Like, after castles, f4, yeah, I mean, you know, f4 is an interesting idea because you open up the rook. And if this trade happens, this trade only benefits white. I have an active bishop, these pawns are bad, this pawn is isolated and weak, this is open. So actually f4 makes a lot of sense if black doesn't spot the move bishop h4. He played bishop c5, and I was like, bishop c8, and I was like, wait a minute, what about this move? Because the whole point is that he used to hit d5. And so after this trade, queen takes, rook takes, I just advanced my pawns, and I thought I had a pretty nice position. Now, f5 is a waste of time. The better move here is still to castle, but f5 is very normal for a 7-year-old. And now rook d7. And at this point, I realized that I have a really powerful pin. And I'm threatening to win a pawn. And I'm also just restricting him. And then he went here. Now, g6 just straight up loses a pawn because it stops guarding h6. I can just play takes. And if this was a slow run, I would say keep it simple, stupid. I would probably sell that to myself also at 7. And my son at 7. I would just keep it simple. Just take the pawn. By the way, you can also take with a rook. Because if you take with a rook, at least you're also threatening promotion, which is a huge problem for black. Now, for some reason, I went pawn to f6, because I was like, well, I'm attacking the bishop. But okay, still, you can play rook takes h6, or pawn takes h6. Or you could do what I did in the game, and we're like, pin. I told you, I really liked pins, and I didn't like to get pinned. So, black is still totally dominated. Like, the rook is crushing on c8, bishop a5 is coming, but you need to have patience, because you need to realize black still has to make moves, and he doesn't have a lot of them left. Like, if I play bishop to a5 and then just bring my king forward, black is just going to run out of moves. I'm going to take on h6, I'm going to win. The best move for black is to play h5, just to relieve that pressure. But in the game, my opponent went rook c7, which is a logical move, but it simply loses, because you trade the rooks and you take the pawn. And black is losing. is you simply play something like bishop g5, and black just does not have a move. None of his pieces can move. His rook can't move. He goes king f8, I play h7. Black can completely resign here. Like, everything loses. He has 0 moves. Check and bishop g7. It is completely lost, and otherwise you just walk the king over here, and you win. Now in the game, I was so obsessed with freaking pins, I went takes, bishop a5. Like, what? And now my opponent has the last chance to get rid of this pawn, but he goes here. And now you play takes, and take on h6, and the game is over. But you should probably take with the pawn, because now if you trade the rook, he has the ability to get away, which didn't exist previously. Instead, I went b4 because I was so obsessed with the spin, and he went h5, and now I have nothing. I was watching like, oh my gosh, little Gotham, what are you doing? Keep it simple, stupid. So g3, now g3 is insane because like, dude, move the king. Let it be known I can still castle, which is awesome. But like, he's gonna go here. So you gotta stop him, man. I went g3 because I was like, he's gonna play h4. Ain't nobody gonna play h4. What are you doing? And now I'm just losing. I'm really losing. He's gonna go check and he's gonna win all my pawns. This is my last chance. My only chance in this game is to infiltrate over here and maybe win his pawn and maybe promote. But it doesn't even matter. Like, even with the best possible play, he takes this pawn, he just promotes. Like, the pawn that I never took, he starts promoting. So I'm looking at this game like, damn, I'm gonna lose to Carl. I'm so much lower rated than Carl. Oh my gosh, rook g5, and like, okay, I take the pawn on h2. And then for some reason I went here. Like, why did I do that? And then I gave him another check, and then I pushed my pawn, which is the wrong move. I should take the pawn on h2, obviously. He went here, takes, and my notation stops here, okay? So I just want to show this to you. Like, of course, black is totally winning. Black has 2 extra pawns in the endgame. Maybe there's a chance white can survive, but I'm not so sure. Anyway, my notation stopped. Maybe both me and Carl got low on time, and so we didn't have to notate anymore, right? I would like to show this to you, okay? I would like to show this to you. In this game, at the bottom there, it says 1-0. It says 1-0. It says I won. It says 1-0. It says white won. That's the last move. The last move is king b7. It says I won the game. I was like, what? Oh, that must be a mistake. Obviously, I just resigned. Nope. I went to the US chess database, and I won this game. In fact, I went 3.5 out of 4 at this tournament. This is a different tournament than the games against Jimmy and George. Yeah. I won this game. What a boss. It's just, winning this game is legitimately impossible, by the way. If black plays rook f6, black will never lose any of his pawns, and my king cannot get around any of the pawns. So I don't know how I beat Carl, but I beat Carl, and I got 3.5 out of 4.